Welcome to the In-Season Podcast, rated R for language.
None of us are doctors or neurologists. The things you're about to hear are opinions of people living with epilepsy or seizures. These are firsthand experiences. Epilepsy can cause speech problems, and the medications are hard to pronounce. So please bear with me.
Epilepsy can cause bad memory, so some stories will be repeated. I'm Pookie. Get ready.
Vocal aware seizures with euphoria. Not exactly sure what that is.
Euphoria?
That'd be nice.
That'd be nice, yeah.
Right.
I'd be all right with that.
Okay. It says vocal aware seizures with
Hey, a
euphoria.
pretty good aura, huh? Okay.
Been having focal since May, and after I realized what they were, I think I've been having them longer. Basically, sometimes my deja vu type focal seizures come with a feeling of immense pleasure, not like orgasmic or anything, just an extreme relaxation and weird calmness, which always passes super quick, but it is incredibly euphoric for a few seconds. I also have the other freaky deja vu ones where I close my eyes and groan out loud because it sucks and freaks me out. I Googled this and apparently it's a super rare type of focal seizure. Does this happen to anyone else? No, I do not get a euphoria with focal seizures. And then again, I'm not having focal seizures due to the measures made by B12. Shout out to Nathan Made again. So
That's the first I heard of that one.
But that you're not having that I'm not having focals?
No, about you getting aroused.
Euphoria.
Getting aroused while having an aura, or that's what I'm thinking. It's an aura.
Yeah, that sounds odd. With euphoria. I know a show named Euphoria. I actually need to look at the word. Never had to use it to know what it is.
Why don't you give us our definition? Give us your definition of euphoria. Okay.
I've heard it a lot, but I've never had to use the word to know what it actually means. So I couldn't even tell you. I wouldn't even know. I don't want to lie to you and say I think what it might think it might be. I don't know at all. Euphoria, a feeling or state of intense excitement and happiness. Anybody get?
Bro, if you're, I can't speak with a mouthful of food. I'm sorry.
Take your time.
Maybe like when you were at the weekend concert.
And that's rude. It's very, very rude to speak with your mouth full. But my wife's not here.
So you can get away with it?
As long as you guys don't tell.
I don't have her phone number.
No, but she's usually in the background.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, how you doing? You're looking good, my friend.
Thanks, Tom. I feel terrific.
Well, yeah, you got this.
Very comfortable.
You had this euphoria.
Trust me, I don't.
You're
Euphoric.
Euphoric.
Thank you.
I am not euphoric.
Sure you are. I can see it in your eyes. Well, they're half closed because you're stoned probably, but
I am. I've been going to the bathroom a lot.
You looked really euphoric after you talked to the doctors and agreed to stay a couple more days earlier.
Well, you know, I have never seen before one of my seizures on an EEG and video.
no, I've never seen it on EEG.
Yeah,
I would love to see myself.
They have the video and the EEG part of it right above the video. So you can see exactly what's happening when.
Yeah.
And it was really fascinating. And I agreed to stay so that they could get more information because my seizures are definitely changing. And what the hell? I'm already miserable.
Yeah, what the heck? Don't ruin it now.
Right.
Hey.
But I was really fascinated by looking at that. It was, and he didn't send me anything, Angel. I have a couple of apes in the, I can't say that, they're listening.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they have you on microphone and camera.
Right.
You were
How
talking
about the
about it
nurses?
this morning.
Yeah, I totally forgot that their big brother is watching.
Do you have any cute nurses?
I do.
There you go. That's something to keep you euphoric. I can't
Yeah.
even talk today.
I have some nurses with beautiful tattoos.
Tattoos, huh?
Yeah, beautiful ones. One
Tattoos
has,
and
yeah,
studs.
one of them has a beautiful sparrow on her arm, all
Yeah.
detailed, and the other one
She
has a
doesn't have a
mountain range.
zipper around her neck, does it? Does
No,
she?
no,
No.
no zipper.
Or a teardrop?
No, none of that stuff.
Or how about a nose ring?
Nope. Just the ink.
Or one of those big holes in her ear?
No, none of that, Tom.
Oh, come on now.
Occupational therapy for memory and cognitive issues. Has anyone else seen an OT to help with your memory and cognitive issues? Has it helped? In my case, I'm struggling with short-term memory, which is impairing my ability to do things like cook from recipes or follow tasks at work. I'm an executive and I'm really struggling organizationally. I'm also struggling with mental health, mental math, estimates, and problem solving, all of which I used to be fabulous at even 5 years ago. I need some help. I'm terrified of being unable to function in these days, and I'm only in my 40s.
Well, I'm still having issues with those.
Have you seen an OT?
An OT?
That's what it says. Has anyone seen an OT to help with their memory and cognitive issues?
I've seen DRs.
Why wouldn't you see a cognitive therapist? What is an OT going to do for you?
I don't know what an OT is.
Occupational therapist.
Occupational therapist isn't going to be able to do anything for you.
I mean, Liz is going to one now because she has a torn thing in her elbow. That's what you go to an occupational therapist for.
I thought that was because you're having trouble getting a job.
My neurologist recommended the hopscotch program for cognitive related stuff. It's like to test your cognitive stuff. And
It sounds like here occupational therapy is suggested more for like stress reduction techniques. I guess OTs are the ones to give suggestions on what kind of routines you can go by to make sure you never skip a dose. So like medication adherence, just lifestyle changes, give you a, reliable routine.
It sounded like you was talking about like more organizational type stuff too. Maybe that's why.
Assisted living type, so you maybe don't need the assistance full time yet if you get these occupational strategies down.
So no, I haven't seen anyone for my memory issues or cognitive issues, and I think I should. Just try it out at least. I'm going to look into that.
My wife helps me with that stuff.
Lucky you. Yeah, you got Tracy, so that's.
I got Tracy for everything. My honey takes care of me.
There you go.
Right. Some of the comments here, the first one says, I'm wondering if an OT or speech therapy would work for me. I've had temporal lobe epilepsy for 2 years, and I find to have search for the right word sometimes. Like I say, ground instead of floor.
What?
No wrong with using a word like that. Instead of saying ground instead of floor.
No, you lost me.
Yeah, they're basically saying they say ground instead of floor. I don't know if that's weird.
I'm having trouble with word choice. Like instead of they're not coming up with the right word, they're coming up with something close to that word.
Nice. Gotcha. I
just happened to come out.
How long until you adjust to a new med?
Well, that all depends on the person and the med.
Yeah, it depends on the person and the med.
It says Keppra. I know all people react differently to AEDs. I started Keppra 250 milligrams twice a day last Thursday night, and I also increased my lacosamide dose to 50 milligrams 2 times a day. I feel awful, like low grade, constant motion sickness, and like my hands are connected to my body, impacting type of work for me. For example, it's not even been a week. When you change doses or meds, about how long until things stabilize? I'm also still having focal seizures, so I'm waiting to hear how quickly my neuro will want to increase the Keppra.
Personally, I would give it at least 2 weeks. With Keppra, well, I say that myself because I was having issues with Keppra myself. But that's all gone away now.
It's
Then,
working pretty good for you now, right?
My experience is like, I was thinking anywhere between 2 weeks to months. That's the longest I think a doctor's ever waited before they tried to increase the dose again. And that's also because that's probably about how long it took to have seizures, even on the new medication. So they said, okay, if you're still having seizures, the side effects are manageable, up the dose, and let's see if this medication might work. And that's just how they do. Time after time, every medication,
time
all the way
after
to the
time
max
after
dose.
time.
Still having seizures.
Oh,
There you go.
that dose is maxed out. Let's add another one.
There you go.
That's what they tried to tell me about the lamotrigine. It was like it works better when you take it with Keppra. So like, yeah, I'm gonna pass.
That's what I take.
Lamotrigine and Keppra?
Pardon me?
You take both?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what I've been taking for a long time.
That cocktail did not help me at all.
And ain't not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. First comment says, I'm already on 500 milligrams of lamotrigine a day, and now I'm on 500 milligrams of Keppra twice a day. I'm dying. Aren't we all?
Let's see, how much am I on?
Another one says, for my son, he's 4. He seemed to adjust fully after 1 month on the same dosage. My daughter is 13 years old, increased her dose every 3 to 4 days. If she was still getting seizure activity, her doctor said it took 3 days to reach steady state in the body. It took me almost 2 weeks to stop feeling nauseous with Keppra. So my suggestion would be to see if you can push through until then. I also highly recommend B12. Keppra made me emotional, easily upset, but zero rage. But that went away with the B12. Shout out to Nature's Made.
Shout out to Nature's Made.
I got another one here. It says
The Leviatran or Keppra I'm only on 200. 1,000 twice a day. And lamotrigine, I'm only on 200. 100 twice a day.
yeah, about 200 twice a day, lamotrigine. What have you
I
done when
seem to
you
be doing fine.
say that again?
Now, I seem to be doing fine myself, so
Me too. Got one that says, what have you done when you run out of medications to try? I have TLE and mostly focal aware seizures and have been through many drugs over the last 25 years, none of which have been fully effective and or tolerable. Depakote, allergic. Dilantin, allergic. Tegretol, allergic. Gabapentin, not effective. Vimpat, partially effective, but now on dose too high to tolerate, so reducing dose. Keppra, severe psychiatric side effects. Because of this, I've got about 4 options that my neurologist feels are on the table, and none of them are great because of the previous allergies. Lamotrigine may cause life-threatening rash, given my previous allergies, and because
Right temporal lobe surgery. That's
temporal
my
surgery.
answer to that.
It says, because of this, I've got 4 options. The neurologist feels are on the table. None of them are great because of the previous allergies. Lamotrigine may cause life-threatening rash, and given my previous allergies, and because of how I reacted to Keppra. I'm going to be decreasing the Vimpat and adding clobazam at night only, and see if we can improve side effects while maintaining a decent low-level seizure control. My question is, what if it doesn't work? What happens if I try this and I have a lot of seizures, try other 3 drugs, and run out of options? Has anyone else had this happen to you? No, personally.
Well,
no.
number one, we're not doctors. Number two, those are questions for an epileptologist or
Specialist.
a
Let's just go with specialist.
neurosurgeon, because personally, at that point, it's time for brain surgery. I mean, if you're out of options there. That's that. I mean, although I guess that's Tom 101, huh? But
Right.
no, I haven't got a clue. That's messed up.
First comment says VNS implant, if you're able to. Another one says, to quote the lead brain surgeon at the University of Michigan, end quote, if you tried 3 different medications for epilepsy and haven't seen any results from any of them, the likelihood of a 4th showing substantial results is usually about 0.8%. Assuming it's doable, the next medical option is brain surgery. Has your neurologist ever talked to you about the VNS? It's sad.
I do not suggest a VNS to anyone.
Oh, well, you got it there, you guys. Tom 101.
That's it.
That's the VNS.
You know, Tracy and I were talking about that last night. When my VNS malfunctioned, and it took me a week with a magnet strapped to my chest. What if we were out camping and my VNS malfunctioned like it did, and I didn't have a magnet with me? I could have died.
What was the malfunction?
Okay, it was like maxed out. And your VNS goes off. Mine was set to go off every 3 minutes for, oh, good gracious, I don't know, microseconds. But what happened was it got stuck on, where I was getting a constant
Impulse.
jolt of electricity to my my vagus nerve. I was on my knees until Tracy got me the magnet. And the magnet, you put the magnet over the VNS and it shuts it off. Take the magnet off and it goes back on. So what I had to do is tape the magnet onto my chest. Went to an emergency room. They don't have the ability to shut it off. So it took me a week to get a doctor's appointment to get in to have them shut it off. And at that, they said, well, we can, recalibrate it. I said, no, shut it off. Done. I mean, that's insane. There should be a way. I should be able to shut it off myself for a situation like that. That could have killed me.
How?
Well, the battery would have died.
No, the battery would have died. The battery lasts 7 years, honey.
Oh.
I may have died before the battery.
That's it, exactly.
Been around way longer than that.
I got to die sooner or later, right?
Nah, you'll be here forever. You're the witness.
That's it. Well, yeah, but who knows? Nobody knows when the end's going to come.
I know.
Not even Jesus Christ.
Another one of these comments here says, has your neurologist ever talked to you about VNS? It's sad that so few do when it can be life-changing for so many others. You might want to ask your neurologist about trying ketogenic diet approach. Another one says, damn, has your neurologist suggested or brought up the topic of luminal phenobarbital?
Phenobarbital.
Phenobarbital. From my understanding, that's usually used as the last scenario in terms of medication, especially if clobazam doesn't work. Brain surgery is also an option too. I had a right temporal lobectomy as well as a parietal occipital lesionectomy. It's a lot of,
That's about a mouthful, huh?
right. It says parietal occipital lesionectomy. It's a whole lot of words. Another one said, is Briviac on your list? Another one says, I couldn't do Keppra, but I can do Briviac. Is that an option? Another one says, Excopy and Briviac maybe. Clobazam works well as my emergency med. All right, Compo, Trileptal, Zonisamide, and Topamax. Hey, Kevin.
Hello.
Champ is here.
Hey,
Kevin.
How you doing?
Kev.
How's it going?
Got an icebreaker for you today about what is something you regret telling your parents.
I don't know. They were always very nice people, very understanding. I don't regret much telling them anything. They're always very cool people. If I think of anything, I'll let you know.
This one's a thinker.
Well, let's hear
Yeah.
the answer of what some of you other people came up with. Well, okay, what's one of the things you regret talking about, telling your parents?
Me, I told my father, I only care about my mother and my children.
Okay,
I said I
Kevin?
regret admitting that she was right. Admitting that I made an error.
Jeff?
But long moved on from that.
Okay, how
I
about you,
don't,
Jeff?
I don't believe I regret anything I've ever said to my parents,
I'm with you there.
including I wish I had a normal mother that loved her children.
Angel?
I regretted a decision I made of telling my mom that she couldn't come visit anymore 2 years ago because I was trying to work out on my marriage, and look at how that turned out.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, with
Well, yeah.
mine.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say with mine, it was just telling my dad that I could have used better words because there was I didn't mean to put it like that. I mean, like, I was like, my kids and my mother are the only ones that need help. You're doing pretty good. So it's like, yeah, they're the only ones I'm worried about. And I told them, yeah, I take that back and I would say it a different way. Yeah. My children and my mother need me more than he does. He doesn't need me at all. That's what I meant by that. But yeah, I did regret saying it because it did look a little odd, and the facial expression he gave looked a little like he was a little sad, maybe a little bit. It was like, okay, yeah, hold on 1 second. I said that too fast, and yeah.
I'm sure there's things that I said, but I can't remember. I mean, because I was a stoner, I was drunk all the time. So there's no telling what I've said.
Truth.
Yeah, I agree, Tom, but I'm actually more mean when I'm sober. So, uh, but
I was always told I was a mean drunk.
yeah. Oh,
Sometimes you manage to put words together a little better when you're sober, though. So choosing the things to say that'll really cut
That's
deep,
right.
you manage to do with your head, with your head on straight.
There you go.
and I won't deny that I've said, uh, like Tom said, I've probably said mean things. I know I have, but
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
yeah, I'll just
Yeah,
I'll
after
let
after now it being after it being a few hours now of that question, I do have an answer for that, but nothing that I'm going to
Admit.
admit and say in public. Yeah, just like Tom said earlier. To I know exactly what what I regret telling my mom at one point, but it's nothing that I really want to admit or revisit
Right.
again.
Or say out loud again.
Exactly, exactly. It was, we'll just say it was a bad relationship decision, something I should have kept to myself, but in an honest moment, I mentioned it to my mom, and yeah, I regret it because I just feel it was a weird thing to say to a parent. So yeah.
Well, one thing I did
Fair
say
enough.
is a few years after my father passed, I mean, I never shed a tear. And I asked my mom if there was something wrong with me because after my father died, to this day, I still haven't shed a tear. I didn't even, oh, well, he's gone. And I mean,
Honestly,
pretty
Tom,
crappy attitude to say, to say about your father. Although, I mean, we were never really close. But I mean, it's
Mhm,
my father.
exactly, and
All right, you guys,
that's
let Jeff get
exactly.
away.
I'm having trouble envisioning Tom as a stoner and a drunk.
You can't.
I cannot imagine that, Tom.
I'll tell you what, if you would have known me 25 years ago, we wouldn't be talking probably.
Why? I was probably in the same position.
All right. Well, then maybe we would be.
I forgot what I
But
was gonna say.
Tom, I was gonna say a similar thing. I mean, I still, because of the situation, I still live with my parents and everything. I see my dad all the time, but he's just very, I don't know what the right word is. I don't want to say autistic because that's going, a little far, but he's just very blunt and non-emotional. So it's really hard to make like connections with him other than if it's like we both enjoy, the same sports, so we talk about that, but other than that, we really don't talk too much emotionally. It's more my mom that I'm closer with. Um, so yeah, Tom, don't feel bad about it because I feel kind of the same way. Like obviously I'm gonna be sad and miss him when he's gone, but I don't think it's gonna be a huge life-changing thing for me because it's not like he's exactly 100% there.
Yeah, my father was the breadwinner. He would get up, he would go to work, he would come home, sit down in his easy chair, tell one of us to go turn on the TV and go get him a beer. He would eat dinner, fall asleep in the chair. Then after we all went to bed, he probably went up and went to bed, got up, and did the same thing all over again. That's what I know of my dad.
I didn't really. I'm not gonna say I didn't know my dad, but he wasn't exactly there. Uh, it was like, yeah, he was in prison a lot, maybe like 13 to 16 years of my life, and it'd be like getting out for a few years. We do a bunch of get really close again for a few years, and then 2 to 3 years again. It's gonna do 5 again. Uh, 3 to 5, and then get out again, do maybe a year or 2 on the streets, back for another 4, and so
I didn't know
on.
you were that old.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
I have the bad hiccups. Does anybody get the hiccups bad, or is it just me because I talk so much? You think it's that?
I
Get
think
the-
that's your body telling you got to drink something.
I got 3 liters of water here.
Now
1
start
liter,
sipping on it.
nose and guzzle one.
and then another liter, and then I got another liter over here. I've been almost done with 1 liter.
All right. In the meantime, we've got somebody here asking, where's the help? 1 in 34 people are diagnosed with autism. So sad, but at least they can be treated by specialists. 1 in 31 people are diagnosed with epilepsy, including me, yet it takes months to see a specialist. After my appointment today with my third PA, I explained that all my doctors had left their local practices and I wanted to see a specialist. The PA changed my prescriptions, helped me get an appointment for the soonest day. The appointment is available in June of 26. Why isn't there an uproar about this? I have seizures every 4 or 5 weeks. That's completely incapacitate me. Where's the CDC on this? Okay, now I have a ravenous,
Get
dog in the
mine.
background that is in an uproar about this, and that is
That's it. Get in
exactly how we
line.
feel. Yeah, I mean this happens everywhere for multiple specialties.
Yeah.
Literally, when you have life-threatening conditions, you get put on a wait list at best and hope for a canceled appointment unless you know the right people.
Yeah.
That is how it works. You guys have anything a little more encouraging? Now that I said that, it sounds really depressing.
Well, hey, that's my life too. I wish I could see a real epileptologist. I mean, I'll wait 6 months to see one.
Yeah, that's the first comment. It suggested that you asked to be put on the wait list and pray for a cancellation.
Yep, there you go.
I'm on the cancellation list as well. I have an appointment on March 12th. But that's also with an optometrist. That's for my eyes, because I have glaucoma in my right eye, and I wonder if that's from the seizures. I'm not sure. I've always wanted to ask, like, do we strain our eyes during seizures? Is that a thing?
Well, your body's stress is stressed.
Yeah.
All your muscles are.
And
And-
when your eyes roll back and they
Yeah.
separate, or if they move a lot, I can tell
Yeah.
if the
That could be.
headaches are around my forehead, then I think I had, something to do with my eyes.
Yeah, because my headaches are usually right here. It's like a line. But then again, the encephalomalacia on my brain is right here, which if you don't know what encephalomalacia is, it's soft brain tissue from my car accident. It's just right here, but I get like it feels like maybe like this thick. It just feels like all the way down there, like big wire.
Is it throbbing or is it one constant pain?
It's one constant pain. You guys know what the postictal headache
That's
is,
what
right?
I got. I got that right there down the left side of my head, and that that
Yeah.
muscle right there
Yeah.
down into my shoulder.
Yeah, mine too. It's like the postictal headache, except it just feels like it's in a tube from like here to here, and it gives you the feeling to like feel like you gotta stretch your neck a little bit, like it feels like you might need to
It
stretch,
hurts.
and it never that doesn't help you. There's no way to stretch it. I'm always like this, trying to do that and stuff. It feels like you just gotta stretch it, but that doesn't work. So
Well,
far.
back to that question about the seeing a doctor, a specialist. Now, if I get on, I can see my doctor virtually. Probably within a week. That's I could probably do it sooner than that, which is what I do. I don't go into the doctor's office. All right, when I see my doctor, it's virtually over the phone.
Well,
I
somebody
got a
else is
virtual-
suggesting too that many people with autism have a laundry list of symptoms that can be treated by various specialists. the same way epileptics do. I don't know if I can agree with that. I mean, between my epilepsy symptoms, getting treated by anybody other than a neurologist, I wouldn't trust it,
I
unless
wouldn't
it's a
trust it.
yeah, unless it's a primary care literally just writing a prescription that I can't get a hold of the neurologist for.
Let me ask, how many of you actually need to go in to a neurologist office if you had the opportunity of talking to him or her on the phone visually, through your phone or on the computer, right? How many really need to go in and see the neurologist? I'll have
I like to be in
Medical
front of their
implants.
face. Yeah, I like to be in front of their face time, because sometimes they'll tell you whatever you want to hear over the phone. But I like to talk to you face to face. I can tell if you're more serious face to face. I can tell if you're just nonchalant telling me stuff that you're reading off of paperwork or whatever. Yeah, face to face I like, but I mean it doesn't have to be that. But I like face to face. It's easier to advocate for yourself in person. Like I said, the new neurologist, I have a telehealth appointment with him, and I'm not going to allow this man to just make decisions the first time I meet him over a video chat. So I have
that's
that.
like that one time I went because of that cop right. I went in to see him because I was telling him no, it ain't happening. When I told him I wasn't going to take that medication. Any other time, I mean, because all it is, you go in and he just wants to talk and blah 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 blah. Well, we can do this on the phone. I'm not going to come in here and pay a co-payment and all this nonsense. But that's just me. We're all different. We all have different. How, Charlie Horse. We all got, go see doctors different for different reasons. Even
I'm about to enter into the whole telehealth stuff where some of mine will be telehealth too, just because I'm going to be 3 hours away from my new neuro. But some of the stuff, since I'm just going into them, I have to go up there for because like they want their own MRI and I've got to do the EMU and some of the testing and stuff that they want, I'll have to go up there for.
Yeah, okay. Well, see, that's it. I'm done with all that stuff.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
I'm just new patient, so
yeah, right, exactly. Like I'm done with MRIs and PET scan, all of that nonsense. I'm done. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm epileptic. This is the way it is. This is the way it will be. I'm on medication. My medication works. I'm done.
Life is good.
Life is good.
That's great. Life is good.
I got another post here though, and I liked it because I'm going through it, and I just actually went to see a doctor. I mean, an optometrist about my eyes, and they told me that this eye is really, really bad. The glaucoma is really bad, and they weren't sure why. But then this eye, he said there's, I think he said there's fluid behind the eye, or moisture behind the eye. I forgot which word he used, but that's just my memory. But then this post, I found it reading after I was told that. So I was like, let me lock that in and we'll read it. But it says lamotrigine and watery eyes. Eye discharge. Has anyone else experienced watery eyes and stingy eye discharge while taking lamotrigine? I've been dealing with it for about a year and a half. Very watery eyes that run like tears as long as strings of clear white gunk, which float around my eyes, blurring my vision, and looking at the corners of my eyes. If I leave them, it's pretty much constant feeling of having something in my eye. I hadn't made a connection with my meds until I recently upped the dose and got much worse. That's when I realized that it started around the time that I had begun taking lamotrigine, and it's worsened. And as I've increased my dose, I'm going to ask my epilepsy nurse about it, and I have an appointment today. But she tends to dismiss any side effects I have. For instance, telling me that the Lamotrigine doesn't cause insomnia when it very clearly does. Yes, it does. Don't let them tell you anything. They will. They'll tell you what they learned in school instead of what you're going through.
Now I have that same problem. I will say, my corners of my eyes.
Yes.
I'm constantly wiping them, and I feel like I've got a eyelash that turns inside out.
Right. I get that all the time. It feels like I always got something in my eye and I'm like that, like what's going on? Or always the corner of my eye and I'm doing that. Yeah, and it's only my left eye, and I get the weird crying every now and then for no reason. I've said that a few times. Like I think Anne might have asked me what's going on. I was like, my eyes are just watering. I was like, I don't know, my eyes just water. But
I think I've had that too, but I don't think I maybe have it as bad as you, but I always had really dry eyes. So maybe I don't have it as bad as you because I needed the extra water.
they gave me this latanoprost, afla, off. Anybody know this word? OPHTHALIMIC.
Nope.
Ophthalmic.
Ophthalmic?
Yeah, ophthalmic.
Okay.
Sounds
Yeah.
like a rock.
Yeah. Latanoprost is the other word. Yeah, so I put a drop in each eye at the end of the night. They said it works. Not sure for what, but I have noticed also that when I am reading some things, I go like this a little bit because I'm farsighted, not nearsighted. But yeah, the watery eye thing, like I said, now I know it's not just me. Like Tom said, it feels like an eyelash is in the eye. Feels like all kinds of stuff. Been there. So now I got to point that out to the doctor. But also, I really want to know if the glaucoma could be caused by the seizures, or like, because we do get the like shocking feeling. Like if you ever had one when you're conscious, you feel like you get tasered a little bit. Yeah, just don't know if that has anything to do with the eyes. But then again, they're optometrists, not neurologists. But I'll still ask my neurologist and everyone just to get an overall what the fuck is going on feeling. Because I'd really like to know what's going on. Because there's too many different doctors working on too many different things, and that's how you just get worse. One doctor working on this, and he's not talking to that guy, and that guy's not talking. Yeah. So that I'm working
Good luck
on.
with that. Help me figure that out. Let me know.
Okay. I do have some comments here. One says I'm having the opposite, always dry eyes, exacerbated. It's drying me out everywhere. But the worst right now is the dry mouth because it's making my mouth hunk. Another one says, OMG, this would explain so much. I recently, last year, started taking Lamotrigine, and since then I've gotten crazy watery eye and excessive eye gunk. I just assumed that it was my allergies getting worse, but I could see them being related. And yeah, the same thing with the dry mouth thing. I don't get dry mouth. For some reason, like I said, I'm always like having the hiccups and stuff. And then my mouth is always just like over wet. Like yeah, like my mouth is just watery, always salivating. Sometimes I gotta take a second and go and swallow it because it just like fills up like I need to hurry up and spit or something. But yeah, I don't get the dry mouth like this person. Hypersalivation. Yes.
That is a side effect of some drugs. Yeah, it's a side effect of some of my drugs. Yeah. So I get that too. Haven't gotten it recently, but I think I've adjusted to it. But I definitely had it in the past.
Lamictal, lamotrigine is it's a side effect of that.
Hypersalivation?
Yep.
Oh, nice. So maybe I wasn't tripping. I thought it was just me. Some of this stuff I
Yep.
think like it's just me. Because my right eye watering sometimes. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it just got hit by the wind at a different angle, or never know. There's a lot of
Like,
times I'm like this, looking for an eyelash in the mirror. Like, is there an eyelash in my eye? Tell my sister to blow it and stuff like that. Now I'm glad to know that it's not just me. Thought I was tripping. Yeah.
Nope.
The hypersalivation, that's really good to know because I've been, yeah, a lot of my family, they're like, why do you always spit when we're walking? And I'm like, I don't know. My mouth is just full with spit, so I got to spit it out. But yeah, now that's really good to know. Hypersalivation. Is that something you would tell your doctor about?
If it's getting in the way.
It's not really getting in the way. I mean, well, it's getting in the way of the podcast when I'm talking and my mouth is always watering. That's a little bit getting in the way, but the daily life getting in the way.
Well, the easiest thing to do is to swallow.
Yeah. So hypersalivation, I got to bring that up.
Yeah, I'm getting Charlie horses.
Yeah, I don't think that I should bring that up because they're probably just going to try to give me something for it or send me to another doctor.
They'll just give you a pill.
Yeah, I don't need a pill for hypersalivation.
They got pills for everything.
Yeah.
I know.
I'd rather have a wet mouth than a dry mouth.
That's true.
it's
Yeah.
not so bad that like you need medication for it. I mean, it's just a little like drool every so often.
Oh yeah, I drool time to time, and I catch myself like, oh, and I look around like, did anybody see that? But there's sometimes where I'm just sitting there with my mouth open, and I'm like, and just like hypersalivation, like she said, sometimes it'll just go out the side of my mouth. Sometimes nobody will notice because it's in my beard, so no one will notice. Yeah, that's a good thing too. Plus side of the beard, you just won't see the drool.
I do that when I have a seizure.
You drool?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wake up and my mouth is usually wet from all of my beard and stuff, so yeah, I do that a lot. But it's very good to know that that's something that lamotrigine causes.
Another thing about eyes, they're talking about dilated pupils here. I was just diagnosed with focal seizures today. It's been happening for years, but I finally know what it is. Took my first dose of Keppra today, as well as my pupils are enormous. I look like I'm rolling. Anyway, I'm glad to join the group. Maybe now all my other problems will be fixed now that I can treat this epilepsy. And that was a joke. 36 male registered nurse in the US. Dilated pupils on Keppra? No, not from my experience.
Not
Definitely
my
not enough to cause
experience.
light sensitivity or anything like that.
I don't have dilated pupils, I don't think.
Yeah, I had dilated pupils, but they did that on purpose. My
That's a
last
little pot you smoke.
my last my last appointment when I just told you I went and seen an optometrist. Yeah,
They give you the eye drops.
yeah, they gave me the eye drops, but then they were like, we're gonna dilate your eyes so we could take a picture and get in there or whatever the case. And then they gave me those black glasses. I thought I posted a picture, but if not, I have a picture taken. And
Then you can't drive home though.
I could not see, and I was alone, and I was on my phone. And if you have Apple, then you know the little dots where you know people are, like your family and stuff, people who follow you. And I couldn't tell who was who, so I just pressed the dot, and it was my oldest sister. And I told her I can't see, and I need you to come get me. And she came and got me, because I did not know they were going to do that, and I couldn't see my phone. I couldn't see anything on the screen. I was like, is this what it's like for people who need glasses? Because it was ridiculously blurry. Like I've never imagined or seen anything like that before in my life. I was at the store trying to get a cupcake, and I couldn't tell if it said strawberry cheesecake, and the other one said something else. And then I was like, I think that one says strawberry cheesecake. And he was like, no, that one does. And I was like, oh man, I need to get out of here. I ended up buying nothing when I wanted a strawberry cheesecake muffin. It's frustrating not being able to see. Like I said, I was just walking and walking, trying to get back to my Uber, and I was just like, I can't see. Let me call my sister, or it happened to be my sister. Like I said, when you look at the map, it just has a bunch of dots with the person's name right there, or the syllable for their first name.
Yeah, nobody in the comments really agreed with the dilated pupils due to Keppra. Other people brought up medication interaction, saying Keppra caused anxiety. Maybe it has something to do with that. If you mixed it with ADHD meds, that resulted in anxiety causing the dilated pupils, according to this comment. Never thought of that. But that's definitely something to make note. The doctor would probably want to at least track down the cause, especially if it's getting in the way, if it's enough to notice.
Where are you getting these questions from?
Aliens.
Aliens.
Yeah.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Right. Explains it all,
I
right?
understand.
We're aliens.
My
That's what
wife
we
was feeling
understand.
stupid before.
You only understand it because you're an alien too, like the rest of us.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Kepra. You
You can
guys own the
speak
Kepra.
you can speak the secret language.
Ha. Now that you say that, I have a question I'll throw in there that has nothing to do with epilepsy right now.
Okay,
It made me just think of it. It says, if humans had a mating call, what would it be? I
boy,
found that hilarious.
if humans had a mating call, what would it be?
Where did Kate run off to?
Yeehaw!
That's hilarious.
Shazam!
Shazam. Oh man.
Come and get it.
Oh man. Kevin?
I'm
what do you
loving
think?
it.
Anybody got another mating call? Yeehaw.
Shazam!
Would you like fries with that? I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Everyone seems to be so fat.
I don't like fries.
You know,
Okay, love the mating calls.
Mm.
Back up to Yeehaw, I guess. Jason, the question for you is, what is one thing you regret telling your parents?
The one that I regret telling my parents is that, you know, like if like the one that I regret telling my parents is that if you know, like if they ever if they ever come if they ever come to so this is a hard one. The one that I regret is my parents uh, is is telling my parents is that is for them picking me up after work like late night because like I don't really want my parents to pick me up like at a nightclub because I used to work as a bouncer and it was like during like it was at Bauhaus in Tallahassee, Florida and Pensacola Street and my mom would pick me up like literally all the time like so I could avoid Uber so I just said like please don't pick me up and then my mom still picks me up.
What would you
I
do
mean, that's
otherwise? You're walking home from the club?
no, he's saying they helped him avoid the Uber, and I know you don't like your parents helping, but when they actually want to, it feels like maybe sometimes they really do kind of still want to have that purpose. It's almost like a guilt emanating from them. Did you ever learn to kind of cope with that? Let her do what she wanted to?
Yeah, yeah, I did. Like, yeah, I did. It was like, yeah, I did. It was, yeah, I did. It was like over a year, like that I worked like at a as a bouncer. So like, I would never get picked up multiple times.
Yeah, I've told myself after a while, I told myself we got to stop being too big to ask for help. I had that for a while, but I thought it might be just in my best interest to actually ask for help instead of trying to do it on my own and hurt myself. So I usually follow my first mind, and I'm just like, if I need help, I'm gonna ask because I don't want to hurt myself and then tell myself afterwards I should have asked when I didn't, and then something bad happened. But yeah, don't be too big to ask for help, man. If you need help, you need help. It's understandable. Maybe not to others on the outside looking in, but when we need help, we need help. So I'm not afraid to ask for help. I got over that because yeah, getting hurt isn't fun.
That's what led to turning in the license, hands down. Having an accident is going to end up causing more stress on everybody that I'm trying to save the burden from. So, not worth it.
People know I need help. You could help me.
Now, check it out. Watching Jeff be the Warriors is amazing. But this question here, they might actually benefit from this. Saying, I'm worried about what will happen if I'm hospitalized. So I have daily seizures, 1 to 6 a day. I'm undiagnosed, unmedicated. I've been vomiting everything for 24 hours now, and I will probably need to go to the ER. Depending on my situation, I might be hospitalized. I'm scared of having a seizure there. Any advice? Because I'm mortified. This is putting yourself in the worst situation when you know you need treatment, not being able to keep anything down, and 1 to 6 seizures a day. I mean, you might not be able to make sound decisions at that point.
That's at least 365 seizures a year. That is a lot.
Oh, they better not go a year.
And if you're having at least one a day, that's at least 365 seizures a year, except for a leap year. Yeah. And if you're having 2 or 3 a day, you're in the thousands by 2 years. I mean, yeah, by like 2 or 3 years, you're already in the thousands. Yeah, you gotta not be too big to ask for help. You gotta let people know I need help. This is going up. I could use your help, and I'm stressing about needing help. I used to do that too, stress about needing help, but yeah.
Well, if you're having 6 a day, that's 1,095, not including leap years.
Nice. You did that on top of your head?
Yeah, on top.
Oh, nice. Yeah, but that's a lot to happen a year, and yeah.
All out of fear of being inpatient, even overnight for observation. I mean, the number one comment is that it's better to seize under observation. Hospitals aren't fun, but they're going to be a lot more comfortable to have a medical episode.
Jeff's got a doctor right there.
He
That's
totally
probably a
inspired this
nurse.
question here. Andrea, you ever had to face this? Kind of coming to terms with needing to go to the ER when you just really didn't want to?
Working on that one right now. I don't like asking for help at all. And I'm now in a situation where I'm having to ask help from people that I really don't like to ask help from. So,
That's part of being epileptic and having to depend on people.
yeah, but I had all gone as nearly almost no contact with this person, and now they're my main support.
I mean, you
Well,
could rationalize it by doing a few favors for them.
that's
You
it.
still have skills, you still have many capabilities.
It's no, it's not. It's a whole bunch of other things that
Yeah, relationships are complicated. That's true.
it's big things.
James, have you ever had to kind of talk yourself into being hospitalized or taking that ER trip? Or Jason, Angel? This person is saying they're having 1 to 6 a day, undiagnosed, unmedicated. So this must be right at the beginning for them.
Sometimes I gotta talk myself out of going to the emergency room. I mean, talk myself, yeah, basically tell myself I shouldn't go, and sometimes I feel like I don't need to go, but then sometimes, a lot of the times, it's like I don't want to be there all day. And when you go to a hospital out here for a seizure, you're gonna do a CAT scan, you're gonna do an MRI that day, you're gonna do EEG. You're gonna be sitting there all day because you're gonna do all of them to probably find nothing. And then they'll just make sure you didn't have a what's it called? Hit your head.
Concussion.
Concussion. But other than that, yeah, that's what I don't like about going to the hospital is I gotta sit in there and do all the tests. If I just be like I had a regular seizure sometimes, and I'd be like, just a breakthrough. I had to tell them that several times. That it's just a breakthrough, just regular seizure. It's no big problem, and then they don't do the test. But if I just have regular seizure and I wake up in the hospital, my family doesn't tell them that it was a breakthrough. They're just gonna assume, oh, we need to do everything we can to check his head today and be there 10 hours.
Yeah, I don't go to the hospital or the doctor if I don't really absolutely.
Angel, did you
have
forget?
to.
I'm sorry,
It
bro.
was
I know we
pretty
didn't call on
much
you soon enough.
it was pretty much everything Pookie said, but I go like I force myself to go to an ER if I know I'm like or an urgent care if I'm really hurting. Like I know when I dislocated my shoulder, I knew I had to go. And there was one time with my thumb where I thought it was really, really bad, hurting and everything, but it was just nothing wrong with it when they saw it. So, you know,
Yeah,
it
it's
was
better
just like,
safe. Still hard to get the
yeah,
bill though.
but I still don't want to get like the CAT scans or MRIs or everything.
Yeah, this person's just thinking in the comments, they replied to somebody saying, it's better to get care. Their first reply from the OP is, what if they intubate me? It would be my worst nightmare to seize near my mother. I could tear a blood vessel. So all that worst case scenario thought is something you really just have to get over.
Uh-huh.
You guys ever had trouble with that? They're
Worst
saying it
case
wouldn't even
scenario.
be intubated if it was just a seizure.
Yeah, I don't think you would be
That
intubated.
would be like a breathing issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going straight to SUDEP, it looks like. They're thinking anyway
Yeah,
that they would go straight to SUDEP, have to be intubated, and well,
I mean,
be glad
worst
to
case
understand that it probably won't
scenario
get
for
that far.
me would be my daughter.
There you go. And if you remind yourself you got a better chance of getting under control and not having a by accident in front of her, that's another motivator to keep these appointments up. Lots of tough questions about the medications. This one's saying I'm on new meds, but it's completely changed me as a person. 27, female. Doctor put me on new meds a few months ago, and I am nothing like I used to be. I never want to be around people, annoyed all the time, always down or sad, no motivation to do anything. Has any meds done this to you? OP didn't say what they're actually taking. Didn't even say if it's an AED or a benzo, but number one answer, guess.
Excopri.
Keppra.
Huh. I didn't want to say that one. I was
Keppra is
thinking you were
actually
going to
the
say that,
first one.
but I didn't want to say it. I was like, yeah, it can't be Kemper. But I was wrong. I should have followed my first instinct. I'm still stuck on this hypersalivation thing. I gotta look into that more. Is that something you point out to your doctor, just like every little thing, even if it doesn't bother you? Is there things you tell your doctor and you be like, this is going on. It doesn't bother me, but I'm just letting you know this.
I think there's a lot of things that I
If they're
haven't
gonna
mentioned
put
that
it
I
on the
probably
chart.
should have.
Well, this did add up earlier tonight with, forgive me, a couple other members that were describing some really vicious symptoms they were having. And when they all add up, equal something called DRESS syndrome. So even if some of the symptoms you're having, you know it's due to the medication, but it's not completely interrupting your life, and you tell your doctor and you know they're going to put it on the chart, that's what you want. because if you start having a few more minor symptoms, they do all get attributed to some kind of syndrome, then sometimes the meds that we're on for a long time, they give more than just random side effects. It'll actually, be a whole nother disease to itself. But it can be treated by switching the meds. So it's all about the evidence. So they can make better decisions. Some of these other ones, comments on this question. Somebody's just saying that meds have completely changed them as a person. Another one about Keppra left you dead inside. Keppra to a lot of people. And that's literally all I'm seeing in every answer. Sorry, because
Kepper?
I thought I was gonna have a point here. That's all it is. Don't get caught up in it. I was on it for 3 months of constant rage. Now it's okay. Like, I guess that is one good point to make. Don't assume that's your only option. No matter what, if there's no physical symptoms, but you mentally just don't feel the same, then that's still worth discussing. There are other options, always. Even
Yep.
if it's just a change in dose. I'm prescribed 1,000 milligrams twice a day, but I'm taking like 250 altogether, and I feel a lot better. So I'm still on that medication, just not nearly as much. It does help. Doesn't matter if they stop the seizures, if they make your life worse overall. I think that's a good way of putting it. That is what it feels like when the doctors finally sound like happy on their own, saying, "Oh, okay, you only had 2 tonic-clonics in the last like 2 months." Well, even if those numbers are better, quality of life went down. Got to take care of it.
Kind of a balance.
I got one.
There you go. Exactly.
Because a couple of you guys are on Keppra. I'm going to keep asking Keppra questions while you guys are here. It says Keppra loss of appetite. Did your appetite come back? I recently switched meds from lamotrigine to Keppra, and I have noticed a slight loss of appetite. For those who have experienced this, did your appetite return eventually, or did it remain a bit lower? It isn't a concern for me, as I was a bit overweight to begin with, and I have been actively working on my health since May by trying to make better food choices and get 3 to 4 cardio sessions in each week. I've lost 20 pounds so far, and I feel a lot better for it. I'm mostly wondering if my appetite is going to return with a bang and make it harder to keep the weight off. I've been regularly upping my dose every fortnight since June, and only reached my full dose of 1,500 milligrams per day a couple weeks ago. So I haven't had the chance for things to fully settle yet. That's a sign. Just wait for things to fully settle. Don't get too caught up on it yet, but I know the appetite thing with lamotrigine is the same thing. I mean, with lamotrigine, it causes loss of appetite. I have absolutely zero eating cues. If I don't have food in front of me like I do now, then I probably won't eat because I'm not going to think to, let's go to the kitchen.
That's it. If I don't have food in front of me, I won't eat.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna think let's eat unless I have food in front of me, like these.
Right.
Tom, you always have food in front of you.
That's
You
why
give
I
out
eat.
samples.
No, that's seriously. Tracy will ask me, Tom, have you eaten today? I don't know. And she's like, what do you mean you don't know?
Right, that's what I was gonna say.
I just don't.
Yeah, sometimes I say that I don't know, and then they're like, "What do you mean you don't know? How do you not know if you ate today?" It's hard to explain.
Because
Yeah, my mom just came up in here and asked me if I had the dinner, and I'm like, I think, yeah, I had lasagna.
Yeah. Uh,
and Tracy's overweight, and she's always complaining about how she's always hungry, she's always eating, and it's like, well, I don't know what to tell you, sweetie. I don't eat because I'm not hungry, and you're hungry all the time. Start taking meth or something. No, I'm teasing.
That
I'm
is
teasing.
not a good advice.
I would never say that to her. I'd never eat again. My honey feeds me well. But no, I don't. I just don't eat. I just don't remember to eat.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Mary, stop laughing at me.
Yeah. What was I gonna say?
Katie,
All
stop it.
right, let's move on to another touchy subject.
Oh, I
Question
got some
regarding
comments here.
epilepsy, please.
There's only two. So one says, yes, my appetite dropped and came back after around 3 months. Still, I take smaller portions than I used to, though. I'm also on 1,500 milligrams, but increasing soon. Another one says, yes, I lost my appetite in the beginning, but it came back after about 2 or 3 months. Still, sometimes I have days I don't have any appetite, but I'm not sure because of the meds or the anxiety. I don't think anxiety is messing with your appetite, but then again, I don't have anxiety to judge you guys or say anything about what's going on over there. Yeah. Go ahead, Kate.
Yeah, I mean, your question makes sense too. Anxiety and appetite, a lot of stuff affects people's appetite, that's for sure. If you're not focused on just feeling good, then you might not catch your body's cues.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.